Hey there, you guys. How are you? So, I am here recording a podcast for AVA Live Radio for the Daily Jacks Social Blade. And here's what I was thinking. I have been speaking to so many of you guys all the time. You know that because I've been doing this for a long time. And it seems like a lot of people have gotten lost. So, to help you get unlost, I thought I would do some of the podcast records here on YouTube for video versions so that we can talk a little bit about music marketing expectations and, maybe get you on the road to doing better in a realistic way. Because I know that a lot of you guys want to do music, you want to build a career, and it's wonderful, and you totally can, but I still see people doing the same mistakes and making the same mistakes. So I thought, let's just start another series and start fresh. And every day I'll raise a point that you can take action on, and hopefully you'll get on to doing so much better. So bear with me. I'm just going to start recording for the podcast so you guys can hang out while I'm doing this. And yeah, and we'll do point one. Now, if you want to get it on podcast version, I will link it up in the description below after we're live here. And I'll also link up some information like the Music Marketing Insider newsletter where you can sign up for it if you want to receive these every single day when I send them out after they're published. If you want to, I don't know, push your music, collab with AVA Live Radio, get your music on the station, start working with us in music marketing and getting more exposure for your music, getting out on our Twitter feeds, getting out on our social media feeds, and certainly talking to me and working with me more closely on a regular basis. That's all going to be available to you as well. I'll give you some links as we go along, and then I'll also link them up in the description below. Okay, so let's get started. It's going to be quick on our episode 1 here. Hey there, everyone. This is Jacqueline Jacks with the Daily Jacks Social Blade on AVA Live Radio. Got a little series for you guys, also available on YouTube at AVA Live Radio if you want to go check that out. This one is going to be on getting your music heard. As you know, every once in a while, our podcast does a little social blade for you, telling you about the tips and tricks of social media and also how you can get around Facebook algorithms and YouTube algorithms and things like that to get your music career built online, which is really important, and you should have access to all that. I notice a lot of times musicians come to me and say, I can't get bookings because I have no social feeds. And people really want to see that people are listening to your music. Or I want to really build a career online and I don't want to play out that much. But how do I do it? How do I get started? That's where you're going to learn that in this series. So this is me, Jacqueline Jacks, leading you out with the first few points. Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about time, expectations, and what can be accomplished. As you know, music is free. So if you think that you're going to put music online and use it to get heard, but then also sell the music itself. It's a little tricky because think of the actions we take to listen to our favorite music. We either go on YouTube and we do a playlist, or we pull up the latest videos, we watch video playlists. I mean, think of how you actually access music yourself. Or we go on our phones, we go on Spotify, and what do? We don't necessarily follow the people because I don't get notifications from Spotify. I actually create my own playlist of tracks I want to hear again, and I organize them that way in my own Spotify. So it's not really beneficial for me to go out there and purchase music when it's all available for me and I can playlist it and have it available anytime I want. So as far as expectations go, if you're looking to build a career, the career is going to happen as a result of influence. And the influence is going to happen as a result of people loving your music and your talent and your skills. Things you can sell, yeah, you can build a career selling it. You can build a career because people will Patreon your career because they'll help you get the music together when it's really, really good. But at first, you have to establish that fan base. And the problem is a lot of artists, their expectations aren't really realistic. Like I've been sitting here in front of this this channel and this station for over 10 years. And as a result, I've built a fan base. And that fan base does support all of the projects that I do. But because they know me and because they have been around me for a long time, that's why they support. I didn't just put in a month of effort. I didn't even just put in like a week of effort. It's years of effort. People getting to know me, getting on board with me, following my career. I mean, that all has to happen with you. So if you think that you're going to just get some points from some of these YouTube podcasts or YouTube videos that we do and then go out there, execute them for a week or execute them for like a month, then no, it's not going to work that way. You are going to get some really great fans. And if you have an amazing music already, they're going to be like, wow, that's great. I'll save it to my playlist. But that's as far as they'll go on a first introduction. They're not going to start investing right away. You probably aren't going to get them to Patreon you because there's a lot of music they're listening to out there as well. So you have to be realistic in your expectations and know that if this career you want and this music you really want to do and it really is a passion and you love it, then do it because you love it, and you will progressively build that fan base around it. Only if you learn to share and create really great content out there on your social media feeds. And that's what we're going to cover here on these channels, on the podcast at the Daily Jacks, Social Blade, and then also on our YouTube channel at AVA Live Radio. All right, so that's a little bit on expectations, right? Now, people that are doing really well have built Patreon sites, and whether you use a Patreon page through those actual second party sites where you can create like resources and things like that in the back end that people have access to. Say there's like pictures, there's music videos, there's all kinds of things. Maybe they want to order your latest album on vinyl. That is something you can sell to somebody who already loves your music. They can collect it. Things like that is a way to make money through music, but you can't get somebody to order or want to support your career until they start seeing you, until you start building that rapport with them, until you start nurturing that fan base. And it takes time. You know what I mean? It takes time. And you have to also find the right people. Like if I were a singer that was just like Amy Winehouse, right? And this can be an example for anyone. What would you do? You would take your music and you would find people who love that style, right? And you would introduce yourself to them, but you wouldn't expect them to become lifelong fans right away. They'd have to get to know you. Your social feeds would of course give them background information, but also let them in on what it is that you are like, what's your character, your humor, your everything, your beliefs. And if they get on board with that, then slowly over time they'll be like, yeah, she's awesome. I remember her when. Now she's making this new album. I'm going to go support it. You can't imagine somebody on first glance or the first time they meet you say, oh, I'm going to support that person. They probably don't even know that you have an album coming out yet because they can't tell from one experience with you. So you're getting my idea, right, is that people aren't going to get on board right away. They have to see you 6, 7, 8 times. They have to hear you everywhere. You have to use collabs, like you get your music on AVA Live Radio for 8 weeks and people keep hearing you. They keep being reintroduced to you. They see the trends. They see that you're starting to rise. Like a lot of our music that we're promoting on AVA Live Radio will get like 14,000 streams from us. They'll get 30,000 streams, some of them 300,000 streams. The reason why is because they didn't just promote for a week. They got their music in the ear line of people over and over again. And as new people came on board and listened, like say we have 500,000 people that listen to the station every month. Not all those people are going to listen in that 1 week, right? So you have to be there. You have to put your music and collaborate regularly with stations and music blogs and people and influencers that have that kind of exposure. That's the best way that you're going to build that audience and you're going to get seen and get noticed. All right, so expectations. People are making money with add-ons, I would say. Add-ons, ticket sales, t-shirts, vinyl records, but they aren't selling the downloads. And the reason why is because people just don't need to have them. You need to have them out there on streaming sites and available to people where they're actually listening to music. So just think a little bit about how you consume music, and that will help you with that expectation. The second thing is there's a lot of other ways to make money in your career moving forward. And this video is primarily just about expectations and timing, right? We're going to do timing in just a sec. So you want to think of how you want to make this into a business. Do you want to do soundtracks for movies? Do you want to connect your music in venues and start getting a venue, a circuit in place where they pay you a certain amount and you go out and advertise the venue, you bring in people, maybe you get a significant piece of the bar. You know, you have to work those strategies and do trial and error and try and earn your way into the good graces of venues and people. There's so many ways. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways you can make this a career. There's a lot of ways you can use your influence to advertise for brands. You can do tons and tons of things with it, but you have to use the music to get there. You have to invest in your career to get there, and you have to collab with people who already have a fan base and have worked hard to gather those listeners and have that access in order for you to build faster. Otherwise, it's you on the ground, one-to-one, for as long as it takes to establish that credibility, that initial voice, that initial, hey, will you listen to this song? But remember, expectation-wise, it's not just you out there. When we have music submissions every day, literally 200-300 people are submitting their music to AVA Live Radio every single day. That's not even including the people out there on Facebook, Instagram, in the DMs, on Twitter, people that are tagging us, asking us to listen. Everybody with the same purpose. They're a total stranger to us. Very few have ever talked to us before this. They're all hitting us up just to get something. Just to want and get something. And we're supposed to pay attention just because they make music. I'm a big supporter of music. I'm a creator myself, and I love artists. But honestly, you're not making yourself special out there by having the expectation that just because you released music and just because you started to create music, you think everybody needs to listen to it. Because honestly, if you think about it, everybody's getting hit up the same way. So you have to make yourself different. You have to define yourself. And we're going to talk about that in another video about how to define yourself and how to get the attention of press, how to get the attention of music bloggers and curators and playlists and stuff. But today, as far as expectation goes, let's just get that down. Don't think because you are a creator that people owe you their ear. They don't. You have to earn that. And that's what you need to figure out. And I'm going to help you do it. The last thing is time. Now, you can't build a fan base in a week. You can't build a fan base in a month. You can't just say, okay, my time's really valuable, so people should listen to me because I'm here. That doesn't work. You actually have to provide value. You have to figure out what people really are interested in out there. You have to figure out what your fan base, your ideal fan base that like your music, care about. And it might not just be music. They might care about issues. I find that a lot of the things that we talk about on social media sometimes don't have to do with music at all. They somehow lead back to it, and they provide that open channel of communication and familiarity. But to be clear, not everything is around the production of music or music as an experience. Now, that is like the benefit. That is the talent. That's the skill. Some of these conversations that you're going to have with people are going to require your time, and they are going to require your energy. So if you're just thinking that you're just going to put in time trying to push a certain track in front of people and that's going to do it and build your fan base, that is so sadly mistaken, because that is what everybody is doing. You need to define yourself and define your brand as an artist. You need to think about the interests of the people and how you can talk to them and reach them on a real level. Do you have a song about addiction? Do you have a song about sadness? Is there any kind of coping mechanism that can happen through your songs? Can your songs get somebody through a tough time? You have to think past the fact that you just made music and you're releasing it, and more about the lyrics. A lot of times when I speak to artists, believe it or not, I want them to tell me about their lyrics, and they have 3 words to say. And it is absolutely mind blowing that somebody could write a song, spend money on producing a song, bring it all the way to market, and not know really what that song is about at its core, and not have any real message behind what it's about. That blows my mind. Because how can you build a fan base if you don't really understand what your own music is about, or you really don't care to explain it? To me, that really lacks in a lot of attitude. It lacks in a lot of essence. It doesn't allow people to connect you and your skills to their being, their emotions. And music's very emotional. People will not give you credibility. They won't want to hear your music unless they really, really know what you stand for and know your story. So you've got to get that down. So here's the first lesson today. I want you to think about your expectations, your time, how much you're willing to dedicate, and how far you're willing to go in building your own audience and really connecting your music to people, telling them how they can connect with it. Think out there of an empty landscape, but this empty landscape has a lot of competition. There's a lot of things in the way, but for you, it's an empty canvas because people don't know you. So, how are you going to fill that canvas and paint the picture of who you are, who that song is, and how that music can really add value to someone's life, aside from just, it's a great party song? You definitely don't want to go there. You definitely want to connect it just a little further in. So think hard about it and then come back to me. If you want to help me out, please share this with a friend and definitely tag us up on AVA Live Radio. I've got something really cool. I'm going to be picking one member of our audience every month to do a personal session, a personal music marketing session for free with me. All you have to do is share our videos and tag me up so I see you, and I want to see you commenting below the video on YouTube as well so that I can see you're an active music member. Tell me what it is that you're having problems with, what the big hurdle is right there on YouTube in the comments, and maybe you'll be picked for my one-to-one so that I can help you get on the road to building your career and see what you're doing wrong and help you do things right. Get a clear plan for the next few months and, just watch you grow. This is Jacqueline Jax for the Daily Jax on AVA Live Radio. This is our Social Blade session series. I'll be back again soon with another video and podcast telling you more about how to get your music heard. Hope you have a great day, you guys. All right, so we did another one. So that's the Social Blade on AVA Live Radio. You can go to avaliveradio.info if you want to go access it. We also play new music after that Social Blade. So if you want to get your music heard on it, because a lot of people will be sharing it, a lot of people will be listening to it, of course, then you can go to avaliveradio.info/airplay. That's avaliveradio.info/airplay and submit your music. And then you'll get it reviewed by our panel, and they'll see if it's a good fit. And if it is, you'll end up with your music up on our channel, playing right before or right after in rotation on these Jax Daily Social Blades. We also have New Music Mondays, New Music Fridays, just all kinds of really good music programming and music news that I do here at AVA Live Radio. So lots of places to highlight new music, and we certainly share them out on Twitter, which has over 1 million impressions being made every few days. We actually just recently went viral in the Asian market as well. So we have a lot of Asian listeners, as well as US listeners, people in Canada, people in the UK and Australia. So those are our top markets right now as far as AVA Live Radio listeners and social feeds. We also have the Instagram, which puts out some daily news as well as new music and links up people in their stories, from what they're doing on social media, tries to share a little bit of that. And then there's the Facebook page, which highlights a lot of the links to our site in our articles. Like right now we're doing a songwriter series, which is really cool because you get to hear from the songwriters. So if you're really into songwriting, you want to learn some things, you want to experience some new music from them and just hear about what purpose there is behind writing their songs and why they enjoy writing. That's a good series to go pay attention to. So that's what we're focused on right now, is pushing those ones out. All right, guys, love you being here. Don't forget, if you're here this far in the video, leave me a comment below, share it up, and maybe you'll be my pick of the month for the Music Marketing Insider. All right, have a great day and get to work. Get to work. Stop doing something.